Hey guys, what's up? It's RJ with Roads to Liberty. Check us out, roadstoliberty.com. Today's video is about Bernie Sanders, and I cleverly titled this Bernie Slanders. This is going to be the first of hopefully many videos, and what I intend to do here is kind of pick apart the Bernie Sanders platform, if you will. And it's up there on his website, so you can follow along with me as I do this. But basically, I know the lighting's not ideal, but bear with me. I'm trying to give you guys a bit of a view, too. So basically, the first platform I got with going through his website is the stance on income. And basically, he talks about wealth and income distribution as a platform. And I might be miswording it, but I did take notes so it wouldn't be word for word. Anyway, the idea that that's a platform in the first place is dangerous and scary. That there's a notion that we should have a platform discussion around wealth and income distribution. That's, to me, lunacy. But let's just move forward. So anyway, guys, what do we know about Bernie Sanders? What are the slanders I can come up with here for Bernie Sanders? Well, first of all, he's a socialist, and he says this. It's not as if I'm just calling him a name. There was a time in America where the notion of being a communist or a socialist was a problem. It wasn't something to be proud of. It wasn't something that people talked about openly. Nowadays, it's something that was taking place in the Democratic debate. People were talking about, oh, well, should we look at the Danish model of socialism as a potential example of what can be done? Well, I don't think so. But anyway, I'm not going to get into that right now. I'm going to keep moving through this whole presentation on what the income distribution thing looks like with Bernie Sanders' platform. So, socialism is becoming more trendy, but it's not sustainable. That's the main message. I have a saying that I like to say, and this is not my saying, but this is something I picked up from somebody, I forget who, that socialists don't understand economics, and if they did, they wouldn't be socialists. Let that sink in if you've never heard that, because it's like saying, if you're a dentist and you eat a ton of sugar, you're not a dentist, because you know what that's going to do to your teeth. I mean a ton. I don't mean like a little bit. You know what I mean? So anyway, second thing is basically Bernie Sanders wants to rule you, and this is obviously, you guys are on a voluntary channel right now. Roads to Liberty is voluntary media. I'm a voluntarist, and if you don't know what that means, voluntarism is the principle that all the interactions in life that we do should be consensual, between human beings, from companies to individuals to whatever. Government is fine in a sense if you have a voluntary association that does governing services, that does roads, that does security, that does property resources and all that stuff. It's great, but it's not it's not something that has to be done through coercion. So the fact to remember is there's actual voluntarists out there that think that Bernie Sanders is somewhat similar to Ron Paul in some way. To me, and to I think a lot of right-minded libertarians and voluntarists, that's an insane idea, that there could be even a comparison between Ron Paul and Bernie Sanders when they stand at exactly opposite ends of the spectrum on moral and economic issues. Human rights, individual rights, versus the societal notion of rights, group rights, which is what Bernie Sanders is proposing is good. So he wishes to rule you guys. First of all, pay attention to that. And so, volunteers, we have to be very clear on this. It's not similar to Ron Paul in any way. This lighting sucks, but I'm sorry, guys. We're going to work with it. There we go. That's not bad. All right, so the third thing is his initials are BS. I don't mean like they suck. I mean his initials are actually BS. So the dude's name is Bernie Sanders. His initials are BS. So it sounds like ad hominem, and it kind of is, but it's worse. It's better than ad hominem because it's not even. I'm not calling him BS. I'm just saying fact. His initials are BS. We already had BO. Barack Obama stunk, in my opinion. BO stinks. BS. What is BS? I don't know. You guys think of things that are BS. Are they good? Are they bad? Whatever. What else? I got here on the listy list. See the listy list? Income and wealth inequality. Let's break down the platform in greater detail here. Thanks for sticking around, guys that are here at the 5-minute mark. This will probably be about a 10-minute presentation here. he has this whole narrative about the 1% and how it's unfair to the 1%, or it's unfair to the 99% or the 90% of us to have so much money concentrated around the 1%. Yet, he's sponsored by, I'm sure, and I don't have all this stuff in front of me, but he's sponsored by, I'm sure, many corporations who are part of that 1%. That's how every single person gets into politics. You can't get into politics by not. He's not self-funded. I did background research. He's not Donald Trump money. So he's a guy from Oregon that was I think a senator. Yes, senator. I don't care about the stupid titles. You know that, guys. So back to the income and wealth inequality thing. It's 1% philosophy. It's a fallacy that's a problem, and I'll explain why. And this isn't my shit. This is stuff that is actually. And the lighting will get better once I get into my spot. This is stuff that is generally available and generally, not very controversial stuff to say. And I'll tell you more of why. Basically, sorry guys, I'm trying to get situated here. Okay. Everything is that way. So, 1% of the best basketball players are making the most money at basketball or in the NBA. 1% of the best daters, the best charming men or attractive men are getting all the females and vice versa. The best lawyers are getting the most high-paying lawyer jobs. This isn't unusual, and this isn't something to be upset about. This is actually what we would expect, and this is actually what we want. We want the reward and the responsibility to be concentrated in the hands of the capable. Socialism sets up society where, it's your turn to be the mayor this month. It's your turn to be the doctor this month. We don't need a round robin of let's do it this way. No, the market isn't something designed. This is a distinction I make and I don't hear anywhere else. I don't know if this is my idea, if I heard it from someone else, but the market is organic. Birds, bees, flowers. There's a market for calcium and phosphate and electrons and protons. There's an exchange, a barter, a voluntariness of it. It's not as if, and where there is coercion, where there's a virus or something or a bacteria, it's nature treats it as such. So I'm trying to implore us and America and people watching this video, if you're a Bernie Sanders person, to think twice and say, dude, do I really want to be, advocating for, basically what amounts to theft? And that's where I'm going to go with this next, is take the whole Robin Hood principle. A lot of people think, this is like Robin Hood. You take from the rich, give to the poor. That's a good thing. Guess what? Robin Hood did the exact opposite of that. The poor people were losing money because of tax collectors. This is what's happening. People who are on welfare, people who are on food stamps, they would be better off if the government shut up shop, went away. The military-industrial complex is 60% of the nut that the budget has to clear every single year. Poor people are paying that with their lottery tax, with tolls, with the devaluation of the dollar through inflation, through fake money printing. This is deeper, 201 level anarchy, voluntarist, free market, libertarianism philosophy that isn't necessarily going to resound with everyone in the moment, but just trust me when I'm saying that Robin Hood, if you look into the saga there and the story behind that, he was not taking from rich landowners and giving to poor people. He was taking money back that was stolen by the landlords, the king, the serfs, the king's men, and he was giving it back to the people because they didn't owe any tribute to the king. Nor should you, nor should I. So, moving down the list here, we skip past that. Okay, why does he want to redistribute wealth? Think about that. Use your thinking cap here. First answer, he's a nice guy. Okay, he's a nice guy. Let's go with that. Without even saying, does he look like a nice guy? Because that's superficial. Okay, that's all that's in it for him. Is he just wants to get the good feels of helping poor people? Do I have to explain that that's not realistic at all to think? Who does anything that doesn't have any self-serving aspect to it? Including you, including me. I'm making this channel to hopefully get views, to get clicks on ads so I can make $1,000 a month on the side on my YouTube channel. That's never going to happen, but I'll take the fucking chance. He's trying to get sweetheart deals for himself and power. Power's worth more than money. Watch House of Cards on HBO. It's a show, but it illustrates a point. So anyway, why is he trying to redistribute wealth? Do we believe his motives are pure? I don't. Do you? I don't know. His past. He is a self-described, and I don't have a footnote, but this is on Wiki, so it could be shit, it could be good. He's a self-described democratic socialist. So what does that tell you? It tells you that he isn't hiding anything. He wants to be in the business of taking rich people's money and giving it to poor people. Let me fill in the dots for you guys real quick. May or may not blow your mind. Here's the cold hard truth. When you're in the business of redistributing wealth, you're trying to glom a percentage off the middle. That's the game. And he's not going to directly glom it because he's in a political structure, so he doesn't have to. He sets up the glom to go to one of the corporations, and the corporations take care of him on the side channels. Bars of gold, land, gifts, cash, hookers. I don't know and I don't care, but it's shady and it's not believable. He's not doing it out of the kindness of his heart. Get your shit together, guys. Stop being so gullible, Bernie Sanders people. He's not a nice freaking guy. Come on. Okay, moving on. Self-described socialist, democratic socialist, whatever the difference is there. I didn't watch the debate recently. There's some democratic debate thing, but apparently they were actually talking about, I told you this, talking about the notion of Denmark being a model where they're taxed 50 to 60% and they get free schooling, which is really just propaganda, indoctrination camps, and they get free health care, which is going to be dwindling and diminishing in value because there's no market incentive to become a doctor anymore. People are going to just become entrepreneurs and make apps, which I think is where the money's at. Tick, tick, hello, send me a message and I'll get you involved with it. But hey, that's what I'm saying. This is out here for me because I believe in the market and I'm putting a message out to try to reach people. Side note, if you're an entrepreneur, if you're an investor, if you want to learn, if you have things to teach, if you like what I'm talking about, you want to partner with me on something, hit me up. I'm easy to talk to and I'll work with you. So he was an activist. He was raised in the Brooklyn, New York area. He was a socialist in college. And here's another thing, guys. His motives could be pure, right? I'm getting a cramp here. His motives could be pure, but maybe he's just a puppet. Same for Obama. I don't know if they're really standing to gain very much at all. Maybe they think they're doing a great thing, but first principles. You need to argue from first principles. You need to debate from first principles. You need to think and reason from first principles. Why do you think X? Why do you think Y? Why are you coming to the conclusion you're coming to? It's because you base your beliefs on some other primary thing. He thinks he's doing something good or not, I don't really care. At the end of the day, if he's in the business of taking money from people and giving it to other people, it's unacceptable from an individual liberty standpoint, and we need to raise up against this. That's why I'm doing Bernie Sanders first. Hillary's not a threat. Jeb's not a threat. They're just status quo. He's worse than status quo. He's they get to notch it up with him. I'm going to make this a two-parter, so I'm going to leave you guys with a question. Do people take exception to me referring to the elite as a group? Like, do you think I sound like an Alex Jones, like, crazy nut? Or do you think that the notion of saying the elite is a fair thing? Like, I'm talking about not necessarily Illuminati, Bilderberg kind of elite, which might be true, but I'm running winded. The main thing I'm saying is, like, the elite of the Federal Reserve and the bankers and the Rothschilds and that kind of shit. So, what are your thoughts? Leave me some thoughts and some love and some gingerbread cookie recipes and shit like that in the comments, and I will make another video about Bernie Sanders' stupid economic platform. Bye, guys.